What is good, 7th graders? We are doing examples for SB2. Let's get started. It says Terrell is an avid bird watcher and is trying to estimate the number of doves living in his region. He traps 95 doves and tags them. Later, he traps 840 doves, 38 of which are tagged. To the nearest whole number, what is the best estimate for the dove population? All right, we need to set up a proportion. All right, we're gonna have tagged, because we have tagged doves, and then we have total doves. All right, so we're gonna do tagged and total. Okay, it says he traps 95 doves and tags them. So those 95 are tagged. The total population, we don't know. But later on, he traps 840 doves, a total of 840, and tags 38 of them. So 38 goes where the tag label is, 840 goes in the total. To solve this then, we cross multiply divide. And you can use a calculator to cross multiply divide. I don't expect you to work all that out. You can if you want, but you can also use a calculator. That turns out to be 2100. Plug in our answer. For a research project on rodents, 27 groundhogs were tagged and released. Later, researchers counted 1,000 groundhogs, of which 10 had tags to the nearest whole number. What is the best estimate of the groundhog population? Okay, again, we have tagged, and then we have total. So we'll set up our population, the TA for tagged, TO for total. So we have 27 tagged out of how many? We don't know. But later, we have a total of 1,000, and 10 of those are tagged. Cross multiply divide. 27 times 1,000 is 27,000 divided by 10. Take off a 0 is 2,700. Let's plug that in. Good. And to monitor the buffalo population, scientists put a special mark on 40 buffalo. So these are marked now. Later they flew over the area and kept track of the buffalo they saw. They counted a total of 430, 20 of which were marked. What is the population? Okay, so instead of saying tagged, this time they said marked. So we'll do M for marked, T for total. 40 were marked. Out of the total population, we don't know. But later on, they had 430 total. 20 of those were marked. So 20 goes where M is for marked. 430 goes where T is for total. Cross multiply divide. Again, you can use a calculator to solve that. We get 860 after we cross multiply and divide. Let's plug that in. Perfect. Next link, we are making valid claims. So based on the information and the sampling that was done, what can we say is true? Let's read the problem. It says, Wholesome Food Company has been hired to design a healthy menu for the cafeteria at Ridgemont High School. They want to conduct a survey to determine what percentage of Ridgemont's 1,500 students like broccoli. The survey will ask, do you like broccoli? Wow, that's ingenious. All right, which of the following survey methods will allow Wholesome Food Company to make a valid conclusion, that means say something true, about the percentage of students at Ridgemont that like broccoli? Okay, should they ask 100 students in the line at the salad bar during lunchtime for a week? Well, if we're only asking people that are going through the salad bar, likely they like vegetables a little bit more, so that would be biased. That would be unfair. We need to ask everyone, or at least everyone needs to have an opportunity to be asked. Second one, Assign a number to each student and use a computer program to generate 100 different random numbers between 1 and 1500. Ask those students whose numbers are selected. Okay, that would be the fair and unbiased, because if you assign everybody a number and pick numbers, there's nothing that can influence what number is being picked or what student is being picked. So that would be the fair one. Good. The curriculum committee at Larchmont High School wants to offer a new elective course next year. They decided to survey Larchmont's 1,500 students to determine which course students would prefer. The choices are history of art, robotics, and money and you. Which of the following survey methods will allow the committee to make a valid conclusion about which courses the students prefer? Ask 150 students in the science class. Okay, you're probably going to get some bias if you only ask science students. Assign a number to each student, use a computer program. That's going to be unbiased. Again, assigning a number, picking students that way. In a survey based on a random sample of seniors at Pine Valley High School, 83% of students said they will need loans for college. Based on this data, which of the following conclusions are valid or which conclusions are true? Exactly 83% of all seniors at Pine Valley will need loans for college. About 83% of all seniors at Pine Valley will need loans for college. Okay, when we do surveys, when we do statistics, those numbers are approximate, they are not exact. So we can't say with certainty exactly 83% will need loans, but we can say about 83%, approximately 83% will need loans. So it would be the second one. And our last link here. A group of randomly selected Apple Valley High School students were asked to pick their favorite gym class. The table shows the results of the survey. There are 528 students at Apple Valley High School. Okay, these are the different gym classes, the number of students that prefer each one. Based on the data, what is the most reasonable estimate for the number of students at Apple Valley High School whose favorite gym class is bowling? Okay, so we're going to write a proportion, use the information they gave us in order to figure out how many students prefer bowling. Okay, so what we need, this is where we do our want and our total. Okay, the number of students that were asked is all of these together. So 9 and 1 makes 10. Then we have 20, 30, 7 and 3 makes another 10, so 40. So 40 kids were asked. Those that prefer bowling was 13. So we want bowling out of a total of 40 students. We want to know how many students out of 528 prefer bowling. So we're going to put 528 on the bottom over here because that's the total. Question mark on top. How many prefer bowling is what we want out of a total of 528 students. Okay, cross multiply, divide to solve that. And we get 171.6. Okay, so we can't have 0.6 of a student, so we pick the closest answer. We need to round to the nearest whole number. It's going to be 172. A group of randomly selected Throne County citizens were asked to pick their favorite genre of music. The table below shows the results of the survey. There are 2,006 Throne County citizens. Okay, again, we need a proportion, we need our want and our total. It says, based on the data, what's the most reasonable estimate for the number of Throne County citizens whose favorite genre is rock? Okay, so rock is what we want. So 38 people prefer rock out of a total, let's add these together. We'd have 30, 40, 50, 60, 8, 69, 74, 80. 80 people total. What we want is rock. How many prefer rock out of the 2,006 total citizens? Cross multiply and divide. We get 952.85. Okay, we have to round to the nearest whole number, which is 953. All right, Aaron randomly selected 15% of the Storytime Conference attendees and asked them about their highest completed level of education. Of the attendees surveyed, 12 have master's degrees. Based on the data, what is the most reasonable estimate of the number of Storytime Conference attendees who have a master's degree? All right, she selected 15% out of a total of 100%. So what we want is that 15% out of a total of 100%. It says 12 of them have master's degrees. That was the 15%. How many then in total? So 12 would go on the top because that's how many have master's degrees, which is what we want, out of how many total. So 12 of the 15% had master's degrees. How many of the total group have master's degree? Cross multiply, divide, we get 80. Which is right there. Okay. All right, that's all. Have fun practicing.